Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about how Christmas was for me growing up. Let me get started. And this is a budgeting video, so I'm going to get right into it and tell you what it was like starting out and what it became. First, I want to say this. What I've noticed lately, which I think is a good trend, is I've noticed that more and more people are simplifying their holidays and enjoying the season more, having more peace by doing less and spending less. And I personally think that's really wonderful. Example, many people are fixing simpler meals. They may not even have, quote, traditional holiday foods. They're not doing gift exchanges. They're maybe doing volunteering instead. And I love to see that trend. Growing up, you guys know my dad was a truck driver. I grew up in Woodbury, Minnesota, which is a suburb of St. Paul. Don't know if any of you know that, but that's where I grew up most of my childhood and young adulthood. That being said, when I first started out in life, I remember Christmas being a lot of fun. We had a Christmas tree that was simple, and basically it had all sorts of homemade ornaments on it. We strung popcorn. It was really simple. And we got, gifts and things and toys, and it was a lot of fun, and I remember really enjoying it. But it was done, just kind of more of a peaceful, fun Christmas. As I got older, kind of late 70s, early 80s, I remember my mom started doing themed trees. Each year it was a different theme. And I remember that, which, was quite expensive doing something like that. And we had more than one Christmas tree in the house. I did grow up in a nicer home. We had basements then. And so we had a Christmas tree in the basement, and we had a Christmas tree upstairs. And it just seemed, and I remember my mom being really stressed out at Christmas. She'd say, well, if we bought a gift for so-and-so, then we have to buy a gift for, this person's cousin and this person's florist. And, it just would be never ending. And sometimes she would have random gifts laying around, so we always had a gift for somebody, because my mother would be horrified if someone gave a gift to her and she didn't have a gift for them. And we had a lot of, company coming over, and so we always had to have gifts for them. And also that increased our grocery budget a lot too, because we were entertaining a lot. So we had to have, different gifts for everybody. We also had a bar in our home, so we always had alcohol for drinks. All that stuff adds up, as you guys probably know. And so at first Christmas was fun, but as I got older, it became more stressful. And another big thing is we sent out Christmas cards, and our list seemed to get bigger and bigger every year. I'm from a large, extended family. On my mom's side, there were 8 kids. On my dad's side, there were 9. And there are a lot of cousins. I think I have 46 first cousins. So you can imagine. And that doesn't even include the friends and the neighbors. And so we used to just send simple Christmas cards. And my mom would write a letter, and a whole letter in each of them. And speaking of that, one of the things I never really understood, and I've gotten some of these, is if you get a card and they just sign their name. To me, if I'm going to send a card, I want to at least send some pictures or send a Christmas letter that you send out. Do something like that. I try not to just write my name. But I do understand, on the other hand, it's hard to write a whole big letter, an individual letter in each card if you're sending out a lot of them. So that does make sense. So then my mom started ordering cards that were embossed with our names, and they were gorgeous cards and really, really beautiful. And so our list kept getting bigger and bigger. And I know my mom was stressed out by this. She kind of felt like she never did enough, but it would add up. And then no matter what she would buy, she'd feel like, well, am I buying enough? And she'd always want to add more. And then every year she'd say, we're cutting back, but we never did. And so this did cause a lot of stress to me. I kind of took a lot of that in my adulthood. Luckily, I am simplifying things more and more, but sometimes you do feel obligated. And I have to be honest, even at this stage of my life, if I were to receive a gift, you do kind of feel like you should give a gift back. But sometimes, that's not even necessary. We can just be a grateful receiver. So this was kind of what Christmas was like growing up. I do have to tell you 2 funny things about my dad. I remember when I was young, I asked my dad, hey, Dad, why is there Father's Day and Mother's Day, but there's no Kids' Day? He said, there is. It's called Christmas. I'll never forget when he said that to me. But, and Christmas was fun. I remember also that my dad wanted to downplay Christmas. He's like, it's great. We can do a few little things, but we don't have to go all out when it comes to the food and the gifts and the cards. Maybe send out a couple cards, but we don't have to get all fancy. My mom even wanted to have all the gifts beautifully wrapped. For example, she did not like cheap wrapping paper or cheap Dollar Tree type cards. She wanted everything to be beautiful. And she did make Christmas gorgeous. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. We had delicious food. The house was immaculate and looked gorgeous. The only thing is it was stressful because it felt like it was never enough. And I don't know about you guys, but if you invited me over to your house and let's just say your budget was tight and we had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and we sat and watched a free movie on TV or an old DVD of yours, we sat and laughed, and I had, like I said, I had a sandwich and maybe some hot cocoa, I would be thrilled with that. I'd rather that than be so stressed out about, am I doing enough? And I want to get back to my dad real quick. I want to tell you one other funny thing my dad said, and it was around Christmas time. I think you'll get a kick out of this. I remember that I think one year I got a game of Monopoly, and I was so excited about playing, and I said, hey Dad, what would you do if you bought this game for me? When I opened it, it had real money in it. And my dad said, well, he said, I'd go out and buy more games. I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. You guys would really enjoy my dad. He is extremely direct, but he is something else, let me tell you. So my dad's idea of Christmas is very different. I think many of you know my mom, blessed memory, did pass away. It was 5 years ago, November 1st, from, dementia, or vascular dementia, that is. I think she was 77. My dad's about to be 84 at the end of December. That being said, my dad and I do not even exchange birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, nothing. Now, I am sending my dad a care package of all my favorite items. And if my dad were here or I were there, we might take each other out for dinner. But we do not buy anyone gifts. We don't feel obligation. It takes a lot of stress off us. He said, hey, if you need help or you need money, let me know. If my dad needs something, I would help him out. But there's no obligations. And I think people are starting to get back to that where they don't feel so obligated to have to buy people gifts. I see more and more people aren't doing gift exchanges. More and more people aren't sending out cards. Now, I still like to send out cards and do Christmas letters. I have taken 1 year off since I've been an adult doing that. It was kind of nice to have 1 year off. But I still enjoy doing Christmas and making the meals and buying people gifts. But you know what? I'm okay with not receiving anything. I'm fine with that. And I'm okay with, making it a simpler Christmas because it's about spending time with family you love all year round. In other words, to me, I love Christmas music, for example, and I could listen to Christmas music all year round. I literally can make any day, every day of the year, a holiday by just enjoying life and having laughter and being around the people you love. I would like to know what you guys think about this. Have you in the past ever let holidays get you so stressed out because you felt like you weren't doing enough? And you're like, you know what, life's too short for this, and you've changed some things in your life. And did you grow up with any of this kind of stress in your life where you kind of felt like your mom had themed trees and you just felt like it was so stressful having to worry about who to buy for, and you just felt no matter what you did, you were worried it wasn't enough? Let me know what you guys think. Just remember, you are enough, and just you yourself is a gift. Because I can tell you from the fabulous comments on this channel, I think each and every one of you is already a gift by yourself. You don't have to buy anyone to prove that. Just keep being you. And I'm going to leave you with that. I love you. I appreciate you. And like I always say, I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.